Some people debate how old the earth is, and they'll speculate on how long ago it was created. But I think the Bible's pretty clear that I'm a young earth theorist, that the world was created in 6 days, and I think there's scientific evidence to prove that. But we also must understand that the world also will come to an end. For every beginning, there is an end. Everything that started is also finished. And Jesus said he would come back and this world would come to an end. In Matthew's Gospel, chapter 24 and 25, we read an interesting account as Jesus talking about the temple, and he said it's going to be destroyed. Well, the temple was central to their worship and very important to the Jewish people and sacrificial system. So the disciples say, hey, when's this going to happen? But it can be a little confusing because later in the text, he says, this generation will not pass away till all this comes to pass. And there's a lot said about end times. And so one could say, well, that generation passed away, but Christ hasn't returned. Well, you have to be very detailed in your investigation of the text because the disciples actually asked two questions. First question they asked is, when will the temple be destroyed? And the second question is, well, what are the signs of the end times? Jesus answers both of these questions in the same discourse. And so the temple was destroyed in 70 AD by the Romans. But these other events that Jesus talks about will happen in the last days. And we are in the last days. The last days began with the Holy Spirit coming at Pentecost. So we are in the last days. So let's just be ready, for he can come at any time.